he understands who he is from secondary characters in his life. Like, I'm a secondary character in his life. He's a secondary character in my life. Everybody is a secondary character in your life. And when we have that programming that's locked in by the time we're 7, and it was all created by interpretations by our secondary characters into our life, that's what it means to know thyself.
Yeah, it's a hot day. I'm hanging in the sunshine. You should hit me with the splash gun so I cool down.
I have been experiencing so many synchronicities lately. Like, the last video I made, I literally made a video about putting out this feeling and putting out this desire into the universe for a new way of life, a new place to live, a new everything. And the video was basically how, you know, then I come back to my little crappy place and there's an eviction notice, and how I didn't see the perfection, the beauty in that eviction notice at the time. You know, it took me, I had to actually move and to discover this new life. So it was only like 6 months, 9 months later did I realize what a blessing that was. And that's really when I started, that's when I, you know, started waking up and realized that I channel these frequencies and just started waking up to really who I am, the non-physical aspect of me, and allowing myself to be pulled through life by my heart and what feels right. And so now, you know, with everything really intense on the planet and everything rising to the surface, the day after I put out that video, I find out that my buddy's selling this place and we're gonna have to move. And it's just like, I don't know, man. I'm in such a different spot than I was, like, when it first happened. Now I just know that everything is just going to be perfect. I really do. We have no idea where we're going to move. We know we're not going to stay on the East Coast. We're definitely going to be heading west. But maybe in the past, I would be like really worried about where am I going to go. I would just be doing incredible amounts of research. And now I just know that I'll know where I'm supposed to be when the time's right. And I will just allow myself and my family to be pulled there, and it will absolutely be perfect. I know that. And why do I know that? I guess, you know, when I see these synchronicities every day in my life, whether it's, you know, think of someone and they call, or you mention something and you hear it in a song, or you see it in a movie or whatever on internet, and, you know, seeing the same numbers, I just get this overwhelming feeling that I am just right on time. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And you talk about advertisements, like, that feeling is priceless. And I really think, for me, it was really these frequencies and repairing that connection I have with my non-physical. It just allowed me to trust the flow of my life. And so it's just really interesting to be in that situation where everything's up in the air. You know, we got a pandemic going on, we got this, you know, racial tension going on, and we got an election coming up, we'll probably have something else. And then I have to move my family across the country during this time. I don't know. It's really interesting. Just something's happened to me. I totally, yeah. I don't know. I'm just really, I feel really blessed to be where I'm at. And you know, it kind of makes me think that when I was in college and I was applying for grad school, you know, you got to get a couple references from professors. And so I had to get 3 references to apply at these specific schools. My teachers, two of them said, my ability to thrive in chaos would be very beneficial to the graduate program that I was applying for. And I really thought that they were talking about art, like, because, you know, I did have this ability to work on a piece when it was just absolutely nothing was working out, and just to continue on it and to not, just to see what happens, and then to find that magic in that piece and then to bring life to it. I thought that that's what they were talking about. I guess not. I think they were a little bit smarter, and they could see that somehow I'm kind of wired to just deal with chaos. And so right now, to be in the middle of it and to actually feel is calm and is knowing that everything is going to work out perfectly. I don't know. I mean, I will say that, you know, it wasn't like immediately. When he said, "Hey man, we got to sell the house because we just need to sell the house." It wasn't like I immediately went into, yes, this is perfect. But it wasn't long, you know. It was like, oh shit. Like I was kind of thinking, we're going to chill here for like 2 more years. But I don't know. It just, so I guess what I'm saying is I think as we awaken and as we see these synchronicities, you're still always going to be facing like these challenges in your life. But it's how we step into them and how we walk through them. Like a year and a half ago, I was contacted by this guy. He's like a film consultant, and he started feeling these frequencies in his hands, and, you know, he was in awe, intrigued, didn't know what was going on. So he started, you know, watching YouTube videos and trying to discover what was going on. And he stumbled across me, and it made sense, and he continued to watch them, and then finally he reached out to me, and now we're good friends. But at the time he goes, "Hey man," you know, he'd seen my volunteer video, and he knows that, you know, I know that I'm here on this planet to help with this awakening, you know, to anchor in this new frequency that is awakening something in someone. It's awakening something inside us, this connection. And so he said, "Man, you really should think about doing like maybe a reality show. Like what you do is so amazing." And at the time, I mean, even though what I do it's science fiction, it's truly, for someone just to never have any pursuit of being a healer, to just all of a sudden wake up and to have this ability to help others and to heal themselves and to just take over the way their life is, to become the master of their own life. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. But when he told me that, man, I was thinking like, dude, I can't be in front of the camera. Like I get nervous in front of my iPhone when I'm by myself. So, you know, having a whole crew there, I don't know, it just wasn't my comfort zone. So I was like, dude, I don't want anything to do with that. I mean, like, I just don't. And so, you know, and then later, you know, I wrote that screenplay about the volunteers, and which I am so excited about. And so I sent it to him, and I was like, "Hey man, check out this screenplay." And so we were working on it back and forth. And then he goes back to, like, "Dude, I really think that you should put together a scissor wheel. And I can put this in the right hands, and I think you should just see what happens. And I'm gonna put together like a 5-minute scissor wheel." And I have tons of emails from people that have, you know, let me know that I have helped them on their journey, or have, you know, introduced them to these frequencies, and, you know, a bunch of stuff. But I don't really have many videos. I have videos of people in sessions and stuff. So if I've helped you in any way, wake up, remember, or if I've introduced you to these frequencies and how they've changed you, how they've let you expand your consciousness and change your view of the reality and change your physical experiences. Man, if you can just shoot me like a 5-second, like anything you want to say in 5 seconds. Hey dude, thanks, whatever you want to say. I'm just going to cut them together and I'm going to put them in the scissor reel. I'm not going to release it or anything. It's just going to, probably just a couple people are going to see it. But if anybody wants to do that, that'd be cool. I will definitely be very appreciative. And I will say that every email that I get, that is, I just am really appreciative of the feedback that I get on how I'm helping people wake up. Anything else? I was going to add that I've been reading my children this book, The Voice of Knowledge by Don Miguel Ruiz. What I find amazing is I was asking my 8-year-old boy questions about, when we were in Guatemala and when we were in Belize and Yucatan. And I noticed that his memory of those times is not that good. I mean, I can trigger it with some, bringing up some certain things, but it's not, he can't really remember too much before the age of 6.5. And, when I talk to my daughters, who are much older, it's almost like you don't really remember anything until like 6. And then you remember absolutely every single thing that ever happens to you until a certain point when you start forgetting. By the time we're 6, we have absorbed every information we've ever heard about ourselves, about the world. We've absorbed every interaction that adults have, that our parents have, that, with our family. And that is what has created us. And by the time you're 7, man, that software it's written. And you basically spend the rest of your life trying to reprogram yourself. And it's just so amazing that what my son thinks about himself, I really want to say, like, hey man, you need to get rid of all that, because what you think about yourself was dictated by what I think about you and what your mom thinks about you and what your sisters think. Like, I just don't want him, I want him to realize that who he is he understands who he is from secondary characters in his life. Like, I'm a secondary character in his life. He's a secondary character in my life. Everybody is a secondary character in your life. And when we have that programming that's locked in by the time we're 7, and it was all created by interpretations by our secondary characters into our life, that's what it means to know thyself. You have to get rid of that programming. And hopefully that I've been able to give my children some really solid programming, so it should be easy for them to let go of what doesn't work for them. But anyway, that's a great book. If you've never read The Voice of Knowledge, it's amazing. So I think I covered everything. Anyway, I'm in my own chaos. I hope you guys are being the eye of your own hurricane. And I don't know, it's going to be an exciting year. I love you guys. I'm slowing down on my personal sessions because I'm going to do more reconnections. But I'm still doing my, just basically doing my monthly tune-ups and my upgrades, my upgrade daily sessions. So probably going to limit my number of sessions. So, okay, I love you guys, and I hope you're doing good in these exciting times. Peace, my friends.
If you're looking for some crazy, I'll tell you everybody's standing in a line for the water slide.
So, we're headed west. We don't know exactly where. First we were thinking like Colorado, then maybe Arizona, and then even like maybe Oregon. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see where we're pulled to. But also, if you're in you know, within a few hours of where I'm at, and you've been waiting for me to do your personal reconnection, I am going to start doing personal reconnections next week. And I will probably be leaving in like 2 months, 2-3 months. Or we'll see what the universe, we'll see when it happens.